Despite what it looks like, one of the main causes of balding at the top is the size of the head. No one has told you this, but you have to get that in order to reverse your hair loss at the top. I am AQBS, and this is Back to the Barber. If this is your first time on this channel, I help men get their high school hairline back naturally, no matter the scale of loss. So whether you are here to maximize, maintain, or manufacture new hair, the algorithm has led you to the right place. The primary topic today, the squeeze, how the size of your scalp causes balding, seconded by other relevant information and commentary. So let's get started. You might be getting that little cone in the beginning of your scalp at the top where it's starting to look like a McDonald's M pattern, and you end up like me, well, some of you, and it would be nothing on the top, everything on the sides, kind of like the little bozo look, right? Well, most of us see this image and in our minds we say, why is the top of my scalp balding and the sides isn't? So I try to make these videos not so long because I'm pretty long-winded, so I'll get to the point. The size of your head has had hair loss. It's just that when you lose the hair on the top, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, you say, you know what, I lost it on the top, so I'm going to make the sides extremely short so it can blend in. And or you simply say, you know what, well, I'll take a razor and I'll get it raised off so it can be just cue ball all the way around, or it can be low on the sides, right? Every so often I will razor mine off, but mostly I just kind of shave the sides, okay? If you were to let your hair grow, what you're going to find for many of you, I'm saying that when it has been a long time, like myself, over a decade, you will find that the sides and the nape, or the back of the neck at the top, is also balding, thinning. You'll see it in either spots, or it just will not be as full as possible. So when you say that the follicles on the side are immune to this DHT problem, whoever said that probably hasn't had hair loss, right? And I don't want to get into that, but I don't know how we come up with these theories when you can just literally see a person. You ever seen a guy who's 70 years old with hair loss at the top? And a lot of times these guys have hair loss so severe that they wear like a toupee, and the toupee covers the sides too. See, that's a very extreme version. That's male pattern balding plus age-related deficiencies and just things breaking down, right? It's a level. The Hamilton-Norwood scale shows you how the body is shutting the hair follicles down in a pattern. And the lowest pattern most of us get to, or the worst pattern we get to, is Norwood 7+. You might get a little bit of eyebrows going off, some sides going off. But after that, as you age, those sides will more likely come off as well. Not everything, but some, okay? Now, this title talks about how the sides of the head, although they seem to be there, they are not your friend. I promise you this. I need you to look at the sides of the head as if they are squeezing the top. I'm giving you this analogy because it's going to help you understand what's actually occurring. When you look at it, you can't quite see it, but the more you look at it, the more I kind of explain this very quickly, it would become pretty obvious. Notice that arteries come from the sides of the head, they go to the top of the skull. within that same, let's just say, segment or section or layer of the scalp, there's arteries, veins, and subcutaneous fat. They're all on that same, I believe, the hypodermis area. Okay. Third level down, epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, but then there's like 5 or 6 layers, okay, to the skull. You will notice that that layer is what's actually what you would call the vasodilation layer and or the scalp circulation layer. And if we are saying that we are, let's just say, not getting enough circulation, which is very true, right? Then we are saying that level of the scalp is defunct. What is the difference between that level of the scalp at the top and on the sides? If you look at cadavers, if you look at diagrams, these pictures, you will see that it's just a little bit more muscles on the sides, okay? You will see the occiput, the temporalis, things of this nature, right? And the top will be more like the Galea, which is a fiber that's tense. It doesn't have the makeup of the size. It makes sense. It is the weakest anatomy from an anatomy perspective when it comes to hair growth. This is why you see babies, and those babies have a Hamilton-Norwood pattern a lot of times when they're born. That gives you the clue that the pattern is based off of anatomy. It is not based off of follicles that are stronger with DHT, because how a baby born with something that looks like a Norwood 4, right? Take a look at them yourself. You're going to see the same exact problems, and or not problems, but patterns. And because my hair is growing back, I actually see myself reversing this Hamilton-Norwood pattern, which let me know for certain that is anatomy based. It has nothing to do with some DHT type of, immunity, whatever, whoever made that up. I don't know how they did that. But what I am getting to, quite simply, is the Galea seems to be choked out by the sides. But why? Because once calcification, fibrosis, and this crystallization of lipids and calcium and sebum, all these things get hardened, and these and the vessels become stiffened, right? And the tissue becomes stiffened and hard from a soft tissue, from soft type of arteries. What happens is it clogs up not just the Galea at the top. It's almost as if that lining around the top of your head from the receding forehead, and you put your finger on your forehead and you just make a circle around where the male pattern balding line is, and you will notice that it's called frontal fibrosing at the top. Frontal fibrosing. But at the back, you also have hair loss. What is this saying to you? It's saying that whatever's occurring in the back is occurring in the front. It's a circle around your head. And what is that? It's almost like a tourniquet. It's a squeeze. So when the area around the Galea gets hardened, calcified, and fibrosis, what happens is it locks and almost smushes, smashes, flattens those arteries that are moving from your neck all the way up to the top, and it compresses them and presses down on them so strong that anything past that little line that you have, the male pattern balding line, gets no circulation. No circulation at all. So one of the things that I've been working on to reverse this is to work on the calcification ring or the fibrotic ring around the Galea. If you get that ring taken care of, you will find focusing on that ring, making sure that it doesn't have the tension. Focus on the fact that it doesn't have the DHT storage, that it doesn't have the acne or protein that is, remember, that the sides have the muscle. It has most of its fat still. What does that mean? That means that anything that is in there that's causing hair loss is stored on the sides. So not only the sides are actually causing hair loss because of this tourniquet type of band around the head that they secretly call fibrotic frontal fibrosis, right? When it's not men, you just hear hairline receding. It's not true, right? But this Galea is choked out because that fibrotic ring in the front, it symbolizes the hair moving back, and the back, it symbolizes the hair coming off. That ring around the rosy or your head is the choke of the Galea. And if you ever notice something, the hair stay on the side because they have the muscles, the fat, etc. But when that ring gets constricted, this is why they say the tension is a part of it. Of course, tension is a part of it, but you know what's doing that tension? That ring around the rosy. It is that compression of the Galea on the sides is what flattens, almost like the water hose going to the top of your scalp. And that is why you totally go bald at the top, because of that ring. It symbolizes exactly where there's calcification and fibrosis. So what I've been doing is working hard as hell on getting that fibrosis and that calcification out of my scalp around that ring. And I can tell you, it has been not only just hard to do that, but it's very apparent once you start working on it, how bad it is and how much is in there. Now I'm starting to get like the baby scalp issues where it's peeling like it is cradle cap, I guess what they call it. And I am starting to get the acne around it as I kind of loosen up that fibrosis and that calcification. So my point is, when I start doing this, I'm noticing even more hairs are starting to grow in the area that it was skipping out on, because there's no longer acne and fibrosis there. Fibrosis is the glass that your hair is trying to push its way through. It's going to have a very hard time. Okay. When you get rid of the glass crystallization on the solid glass, pretty much, right? Calcification, fibrosis around that circle, then whatever was compressed, flattened, and miniaturized and hardened and stiffened going through the sides to the top will now begin to kind of open up, like you're taking your foot off of the water hose. You get it? So pay close attention to the sides of your head. And if you're going to derma roll or derma stamp, do not miss out on those. That is exactly where it needs to be. So that's my video for today. Hopefully something here has helped you to halt hair loss and restore it. If so, hit the like or subscribe. If not, give another video a chance. I am pretty sure you'll find something interesting. But if I can do it, you all can do it too. Let's get you back to the barber.